Hi guys, it's me, Charles Norman for AthleticSOS.com. And I'm not going to talk about the software at all today. You guys can always go to AthleticSOS.com and there's plenty of information about it. What I'm going to talk to you about today is some of the questions that I get from parents. We happen to be in the travel and club time of the year. It's May right now. School's about to let out, and a lot of the parents are asking me basically the same questions. Should I play with my club or travel team, or should I go and play with the high school coach and the high school team during the summer months? And so this is going to just be my opinion. You guys can do it whichever way you want. But if you are a freshman or a sophomore and you have not made varsity yet, then this is a moot point. You should go and play with your high school team. You need to make varsity and you need to get good playing time. The high school coach controls that. So you need to go and do that. But in the meantime, you should have been, during this rest of this year, paying attention to your high school and club team and seeing what the people that are on that team in your position do, the ones that get to play a lot. And that's what you should be working on this summer, and you should be doing that with a private trainer. So you should get yourself a private trainer. Don't get a general private trainer though. You want to get a private trainer that's going to work on your skill set so that you can make varsity next year and you can get some playing time. So it's really important that you do that. And then you have to know your game, right? Don't go and get a trainer and try to be like somebody on varsity and that's not your game. You're going to have to figure out a way to take what you can do. If the person on varsity that's playing in front of you is a great athlete and you're not a great athlete, then you have to find your own way. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in my next video. So if you want to, and you just have to play travel and club, because sometimes if you're in a competitive environment, if you don't get on the travel club team early enough, it's going to be hard to do it later. Play on a local team. So most travel and club programs have 2 or 3 high school teams, and they have the top team, and then they have that one just below, which are usually the younger kids, maybe sophomores and juniors. They're not quite seniors yet, and so they didn't make the top team. If you have to do that, go on that 3rd team, because they'll play mostly local tournaments, and that's what you want to do right now. You don't want to spend a bunch of money going across the country, because no college coach is going to see a kid on the on a lower team that doesn't play varsity yet. You're just not on the radar yet. Okay. Now, if you are a freshman and sophomore and you've already made varsity, and let alone you've got a lot of playing time, then you are a college possibility. I just don't know how good your high school is, and that's why I can't say for sure. But if you make the varsity team in your freshman or sophomore year, you have a great opportunity to play at the collegiate level. If you're starting, you're a Division I level player for the most part. I can't promise you that, but that's what I'm thinking. If you're starting, if you made the team but you don't get a lot of playing time, you're definitely college level. It just depends on when you get on that starting lineup or when you get a significant amount of playing time. Sometimes high school coaches are really loyal to the kids that came through the program, and you won't get to start right away, but eventually you're going to get more and more of the playing time, and that's all you need. If that is the case for you and now you're going into the summer season, then you need to be on a travel and club team, but you need to talk to your high school coach and let them know that you're going to go because you want to get some opportunities across the country. And if you can use our system, this is the only time I'm going to really talk about the Athletic SOS. If you're going to do this, then you need to let those college coaches know you're coming. You need to find out on your travel and club team what their schedule is, and then you need to make sure that you have told those coaches in those areas that you're coming, especially if they're going across the country. The second thing you want to do is you want to tell your high school coach your schedule also, so that you can still be involved with the high school program. Now here's where people get in a lot of trouble, especially for kids that are kind of going back and forth. You wear your body out. So you want to be really careful. So let the high school coach know what your schedule is. That travel and club program is going to be really intense right now, and there's a lot of competition, so you want to make sure you give them your full attention. But your high school coach needs to know you'll be available, even if you're just going in to do some weight work or running with the kids at your high school. Whatever you need to do, you need to be a part of that, because if you're playing at that young age, you're a leader on that team, even though age-wise you're not. And so you need to show the older players that maybe aren't as skilled as you, but I'm assuming some of your older players, especially the starters, are also playing club and travel, so you should be okay. So those are those 2 instances at freshman and sophomore year. If you are a junior or a senior and you are looking to play at the collegiate level, you have to play travel and club. And the reason you have to do it is because a college coach needs to know you can play against the best. Now here's where a lot of people make this mistake at junior, and they're going into their senior years, or they're coming from sophomore to junior or from junior to senior. They play on a travel club program where either they're not on the top team or they're on the top team, but it's so crowded that you only get a couple of minutes at a time. Again, this goes back to using the software. That's one way out of it, but I'm going to make this recommendation because this is what I did with my daughter. We went and got on a different club team, and not because they didn't want her on all the top club teams, but they had 15, she played basketball, they had 15 girls on the team, and all of the parents are complaining the whole time about the amount of playing time. And so what we did was we found a team of girls that were really good, that had the same situation that we had, because I talked to the parents as we're going through the years. And so we put together a team where everyone could play their position the way they play, and all these were good players that thought the game and were unselfish, and they just wanted everybody to come in. And so they had 8 players. Now the problem with going with a lesser club or a club like we created for ourselves was it's almost impossible to get that good big girl, right, for basketball. Get that tall player, because the parent with the big player, that's something you can't teach. It's just there naturally. They're going to play on the top club, and they're going to be very difficult to convince to come down to a lesser club. But what you can do, you can get that backup for them. And sometimes there's some kids that blossom a little bit later. So what you're looking for is to make sure you get a big player. If you're playing basketball, volleyball is a little bit different. I'm sure soccer is different, softball is different, but you need to get a complete team in order to compete. That size factor makes a huge difference. So you definitely want to go out and play travel and club and let college coaches see you play against the best of the best. Now there's their next problem. So early on in any tournament, the best teams always get put against some of the lower teams, some of the smaller teams, some of the whatever, not as good or well-known clubs, because that gives them a chance to win and go to the next round, because they're trying to win the whole tournament. They're trying to get on the big stage where every college coach is in the same gym. And so you're going to get a chance to play against them, but a lot of those college coaches won't come watch you. Maybe they'll come and watch, they're coming to watch the other team, but you need them there to see your kid. Again, AthleticSOS.com. You use the software, you contact the coach, you say, hey, we're going to be at this tournament, and I'll send you our schedule as we move forward, and this is the time we're going to play, and this is the name of my team, and this is the coach's information, contact information. Do that. They'll come and see that team anyway. They want to see the big team anyway. They'll come to see you, and they'll pay attention to you, because now they've seen some film on you, they know a little bit more about you, and they know you're interested in that school. And so through all of those things, you want to keep yourself, you want to get strength, size and strength, because if you're going to play at the next level, whatever size you are now in high school is not going to cut it. And you always want to have a private trainer. Parents, listen to me, don't go to a lot of that group training unless it's somebody that's training, in my case, my daughter was a point guard. If you go to a trainer that's known for point guard play, then that's fine. But here's one of the other things. If you're going to a trainer that's just for point guard, they have a habit of working on ball handling and passing and positioning, and those are all things you need to know how to do. But also find somebody that can work on them with shooting, okay? Because the other coach won't do that. They'll show them how to shoot as a point guard. You just need them to know how to shoot, period. And you need somebody, and again, for every sport, whether it's softball, baseball, volleyball, whatever, there's a skill set. There's one skill that makes a big difference. So in basketball, shooting, putting the ball in the basket is key. So if you're going to find somebody to help you shoot, then you need to find somebody that's going to help your kid with their body style, the way they move, the way they play, and who they are. Teach them to shoot that way. If somebody's teaching every single kid to shoot the exactly same way, it's not going to work. It'll work for some of the kids, and they'll pat themselves on the back, but it doesn't work. Same thing with hitting in baseball and softball. Everybody's built a little bit differently, and so their approach to what they're doing is a little bit different. Okay? So those are my suggestions for you. Don't get frustrated. Yes, life is not necessarily fair all the time. Sometimes the coach is playing favoritism at the high school level. Sometimes the travel and club program will favor some parent that pays a little bit extra for something, or they'll be loyal to a kid that's come through their entire program, especially if they have younger teams and some kid's been paying them for 6-7 years. They're going to reward that kid, and that's just the way it is. But if you're a better player, you'll be able to make it. So those are some of my recommendations, suggestions. It's a really exciting time for you guys, I know, but it's also very confusing for you. Don't worry about it. Just understand it from a college coach's point of view. They need to see you play against the best but you don't want to waste money early. You got to make varsity. You got to get some playing time because you want to send that high school film in too, and you want that high school coach to be able to tell a college coach, yeah, I think this kid can play at the next level, because you need somebody to vouch for you. All right, guys, best of luck to you. Let's stay in the game. If you want to make it, we can help you. AthleticSOS.com. I'm Charles Norman. Talk to you later. Bye.